Lord thy God.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
To be a special people unto himself.
Unto himself.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Did you hear that part, sis? No, you fine. I know it's distracting. Right. That's how the enemy does. When this truth get ready to come out, the enemy will act a fool like that. Right. That's how he does. But we're going to read it again so you can get clarity.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6.
So listen, we ain't out here what you call, they say, well, we're racist. No, we're not. What you call racist is meaning for your people. Right. Okay. Now there's a different type of racist in their interpretation, hatred and killing and destroying the people. That's not what we're about out here. Right. Okay. That's what they're trying to portray us as a people or organization. Israel United in Christ. They try to portray us as a hate group. That's a lie. We ain't hanging nobody from the trees. Right. We ain't chasing nobody with dogs. Right. We ain't shooting nobody down in the street. Right. We out here showing love to our people that they repent and come back and know who they are and keep God's law, statutes, commandments. That is repentance, okay? This is what you seen the prophets of old did. This is what you see John Baptist doing out in the wilderness, crying loud and sparing not, okay? Because we're not worried about nobody's feelings. That's not what we're out. We out here to save your soul, okay? Read on.
Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people.
For thou, you sister, you brother, for you blacks, Hispanics, and everyone, you are a holy people.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee.
He done what?
Chosen thee.
He chose thee.
To be a special.
I didn't choose him. You didn't choose him. He chose thee. Right. Read on. To be what?
To be a special people.
To be a what?
A special people.
To be a what?
A special people.
A special people. No matter what we do, we excel in everything. Right. We are a special people. Right.
Unto himself.
Unto himself.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Why Joel Osteen don't read that out of the Bible? Right. Why T.D. Jakes don't read that out of the Bible? Right. Did you hear what that says, sis? Yeah. Above all people. That sounds racism to me. That's right. Well, who gonna tell God what he can do and what he can't do? That's right. I didn't tell God to choose me. Right. He chose me because he made us that special people. Above all people on the face of the earth. They won't tell you that in the Christian churches. That's why we've been indoctrinalized. Okay. We think this is a universal book. That's not the case. Okay. Give me that. Yeah, that's it. You're in the spirit, bro.
You coming out of that at all?
Huh?
You ain't coming out of the New Testament?
Man, we come out of the old. Listen, we keep this book from the old all the way to the new. Right. Okay. Understand this. You can't understand the new unless you go back and get the history from the old. Right. Okay.
So, but you know, just saying that, when you were saying that, I know I read in Romans where he said we were a peculiar people.
We are a peculiar people. Right. You look at us. Aren't we peculiar? Right. How we dress. Right. You know, how our mannerism about stuff. Right. It's a peculiar people. Somebody can shoot you down and kill you and murder your people, and you get out there and march hand in hand, you know, and you don't fight back and go back, and then a little bit later on you die down. You ain't even worried. It's over with. It's over. Right. Yeah. That's a peculiar people. Right.
Psalms chapter 147 verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
He showeth his word unto Jacob. The 12 tribes of children of Israel. Read on.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statute and judgment unto Israel. That's who we are. That's who we be. Okay, read on.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
He ain't dealt with any other nation. None of the other nations went into captivity and slavery. None of them are dealing, suffering like what we're suffering. Okay, in the slums, in the ghettos, being shot down. They're not suffering like we suffering. So this is our identification to show who are them people is the Bible talking about. It's talking about us. Everybody's not catching that.
No, because it wasn't meant for everybody to catch that.
Exactly. He opened it up for you. He's opened up the eyes of his people. Right. And they're going into the churches, and they're not going to read this. So that's why we have to come out here in the hedges and highways and preach the truth. We read straight from the Bible. Right. We're not manipulating these scriptures. You don't see me levitating in the air and doing any tricks, do you? No. You don't see me pulling no rabbit out the hat, do you? Right. We're reading straight out of the book of the Most High God. The same book that sits on your grandma's coffee table for so many years and nobody blows the dust off of it and read it. Right. It's the same book we reading that's in the bookstores today. Right. But we pick and choose what we want to read, what we want to hear, and what we want to do. Right. You see what I'm saying? But it's high time for us to awake out of that sleep. You understand, brother? We got to wake up out of that sleep. Okay? Where you at? Did you finish that?
No, sir.
All right.
He had not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments,
they
have not known them.
They don't know the judgment that we went upon them. They have not tasted what we tasted.
Right.
That's why we are earning the right to be the children of God. If we repent, we earn the right to be the children of God. No other nation can go through what we went through.
Right.
They lose the money, they go bankrupt, they jumping out the window, killing themselves. They'll kill their whole family. That's exactly right. So that's why I'm telling you, we are special people. Our women, he was bringing out earlier about the hairstyles of our women. You go back in the 50s, the 60s, especially the 70s, our women were wearing their natural hair. You see those things coming back again. Yes, they braided the hair, but the color and the blonde and stuff. See, we didn't know that. Now you see most of our women wears, what's her name, Mary J. Blige. You see them all blonde in their hair. Okay, why are they trying to do that? Because they really don't realize they're following their oppressors. Okay, they think that's attractive. That's where it's supposed to be, to draw that attention so I can be on the level or the status of my oppressors. That's not the case, because there was a time where they were trying to be like you, sister. They still trying to be like you on the line. They want the lips full, they want the big behind, the full breast. Couldn't even feed their own children that we had to feed and care for their own children. They want to be like you, really. So that's why we teach like we teach, to bring our women back to who they supposed to be. To bring our men back to be true men and leaders of the household, guiding their wives and taking care of their children, okay? Because being destroyed for the lack of knowledge have destroyed our whole family. Destroyed us as a nation because of the curses, right? Where we at? Bring out the beauty.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 3. With those beauty, if they being delighted took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty,
the first author of beauty. Read on.
He hath created them.
He hath created them. Who is the author of beauty? It's Most High God. You know what God looks like? Bring it up. You know what God looks like? Have you ever heard out of the Bible what God looks like? You know what Christ looks like?
Yeah. You know what Christ looks like.
But do you know what God looks like?
He just said he was a flaming fire, wasn't he?
Well, that's there again. They'll make you think that. Okay, but let's hear the word of the Lord. It's in there, brother. It's all in there. That's right.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Okay, hold on. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. What he's saying, the thrones were cast down? In other words, the kingdoms that was before America, they were cast down. Okay, God cast them down. And there were,
and the Ancient of Days.
And the Ancient of Days, the Most High God, He is the Ancient of Days. There's no beginning, there's no ending to Him. He is the Ancient of Days. You cannot put no time limit or no time on God, okay? He was before us and He will be after us, right? Read on.
Did sit, whose garment was...
Wait a minute, you say He did what?
Did sit.
You mean He sat down? He ain't floating around as no Casper the Ghost. He did sit. In other words, he had to have a buttocks, right? He had to sit down. He had to have legs. He did sit. Read on.
Whose garments was white as snow.
He had on a garment, meaning that he had clothes on a body.
That's right.
And that garment was white as snow. Okay? So you see all these, the mind, how we've been destroyed and been taught wrong for so many decades and thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. We've been lied to. But read on.
And the hair on his head.
And the hair on his head. Wait a minute, he got hair? He has a head? Read.
Like the pure wool.
Like the pure wool. Like the pure wool.
Right.
What people have woolly hair, sis?
Only people.
That's right. That's right. So understand this. Man was created in the image of God.
Right.
And the woman came from man.
From man.
Exactly. Because you hear women say, well, I was created in the image of God. No, the man was created in the image of God.
Right. Yeah, she was created because it wasn't good for man to dwell alone.
It was not good for man to dwell alone. Right. But what did they do to our people? They destroyed us as a family. Right. They separated us. Our women supposed to be there with us, as we leading and guiding them, But there again, you look at our people. Where's the family structure? It goes right back again to the curses, man.
Yeah, to the curses.
Go right back again to the curses. So how do we fix these things? We gotta come back, learn who we are, and and change those things and realize, wait a minute, what am I supposed to be doing?
Right.
I thought I was supposed to go to join the choir. I thought I was supposed to be singing on the usher board. Join the usher board, singing on the choir. I thought I was supposed to pay tithes and go to the pastor appreciation. That's not going to get you into no heaven.
Bring it up.
That's not going to get you, in other words, into the kingdom. Because the kingdom of heaven is actually going to be right here on earth. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I knew it.
You knew it?
Yeah.
So when Christ says, let's read it. Is this Mark 6:9? This is the manner that Christ teaches us to pray in. You've heard it all the time. Read it.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 9.
After
this manner, therefore pray ye.
This is how Christ taught us to pray.
Our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth.
Wait a minute.
As it is in heaven.
It's the kingdom of, just like in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be the kingdom of heaven here on earth.
Right.
And that's where we want to be.
Right.
In other words, what is the kingdom of heaven? It's meaning rulership.
That's right.
We back on top. Do you know that's where we was at one time?
Yeah.
But because we didn't keep the law, statutes, commandments, we got destroyed as a people and we ended up on slave ships.
Yeah.
We disobeyed God. Right. We supposed to be ruling the earth.
Right.
We supposed to be governing the earth.
Right.
Okay, you supposed to be a priest. We were gods in the earth, just like Adam was a god on the earth.
Right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you see, you understand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, where we at? Yeah, let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's go back to the curses. And you see, let's see who these curses fit. They don't fit no other people.
No.
Just like them shoes.
Yep.
Everybody out here can't wear your shoes.
No.
Right. Everybody can't wear this, what we went through,
Right.
gone through.
Right.
We are the chosen people of God.
From where we was on ships, I ain't seen nobody else did like that. So we
and
got
they're not
to
going to do it. They're not going to
be the
do
people. Yeah.
Yeah. No, give me
Yokes of iron around your neck.
37. Right.
Deuteronomy 28:37.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
We spoke about the astonishment. We was going to be an astonishment. Because when you got off those slave ships, there was a time where you were dressed in royal robes and garments.
Right.
You was dressed to the T, beautiful.
Right.
You became astonished because then they stripped you down to a diaper.
Right.
Like women walk around with their breasts out half naked. They made us look like beasts.
Yeah.
Okay? And understand this, we're not Africans. Neither are we African Americans. I told you that earlier, right?
Right.
The Africans, we are two different people, okay? Because people try to say the Africans sold us in slavery. Well, do the Africans come over here and say, hey, we apologize, we miss y'all, come back home?
No.
Brother, I love you. Do they?
No.
Because they're not your people. They know you are the chosen people of God. They know you the Israelites.
Right.
You're not an African.
Right.
Sister, you're not African. You are Israelites.
That's
right. Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
We took on, that's to keep you distorted and lost of who you really are. Okay? Do the Africans deal with you? Do the Africans actually deal with you?
No.
You might, say that again? You have family, but are they really African? What tribe are they from? You don't know? And that's what I'm saying. Because they ain't gonna, you're not, you may think you're African. That's what you've been labeled down through history.
Any black people come from Africa?
There are black people that come from Africa. Because we have the same skin tone and color, don't mean we African.
We're the same people, right. Everybody was the same color in the beginning, right?
Even though they have the same skin color, they might have different ideas.
We'll read it. Let me show you. Let's prove all things. So I will, you know.
It's the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Okay.
And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood.
So you know about Noah, right? When it flooded, okay? Right, read on.
He became the progenitor.
He became the progenitor, meaning the father of, okay?
Of the dark races.
Of the dark races.
Right. Not the Negroes.
Wait a minute. Not who?
Not the Negroes.
Not the Negro. This is what your so-called white man knows about us that he ain't gonna tell you. He knows that the so-called Negroes are totally two different people. But read on.
But the Egyptians.
The Egyptians come from Ham.
Ethiopians.
Ethiopians come from Ham.
Libyans.
The Libyans.
And the Canaanites.
And the Canaanites. I wish I had my phone. I could show you a Libyan. They were actually the Egyptians.
Right.
The white Tutsis, the Zulu. They were actually Egyptians. They were the people that actually enslaved us in Egypt.
Right.
You heard about the children of Israel in Egypt?
Yeah.
Right. Those were the Africans. Those were that was Ham's.
That's when
the children of Ham.
That's when the new king arrived and said, "Man, these children of Israel, they gonna outtake us. They more stronger than us. So you know what? We're gonna make them serve us."
Brother, know a little bit.
Yeah.
Where was Exodus 11 and 7? Watch this.
Exodus chapter 11 verse 7.
Bring it up.
But against any of the children of Israel,
against any of the children of Israel,
shall not a dog move his tongue.
A dog, when Christ called people a dog, which is very harsh, right? But Christ said, he spoke of that, okay? He would call them a dog. What is a dog? Anybody outside of the race of the children of Israel,
right?
Which are heathens, which are what we said earlier, Gentiles, okay? Right. They are outside of the children of Israel. He said, but any nation, read that again.
But against any of the children of Israel, shall not a dog move his tongue.
Shall not another nation, a dog move his tongue, speak against who?
Against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord doth put a difference.
The Lord do, sister, the Lord do put a difference what?
Between the Egyptians.
Between the Egyptians, the sons of Ham.
And Israel.
And the children of Israel.
That's right.
There is a difference. There is a difference. Right. There is a difference. Okay. Have you read Deuteronomy 28? You got your flyer, right? Just do your research. That's what we're trying to take. Because they ain't gonna teach you this in school. Right. They're gonna keep labeling you as an African American, a Negro, a color, a black. They're gonna keep labeling you. There again, like I told the brother earlier, are we African Americans? That's what we've been called, right? Who is Africa named after? Leo Scipios Africanus. You can Google it up on your phone. Who is America named after? Amerigo Vespucci. Those are two Roman or European men. So how do your mother and my mother, and we come from two European men, they label us African Americans? That's the lie. That's the propaganda. That's the agenda that they've been. That's why they had to get rid of the Malcolm X. That's why they had to get rid of the Marcus Garvey, the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, and anybody else that will rise up and bring forth truth like we're doing today. Whether you realize it or not, since we're risking our lives out here today. Why? Because if there's anything else to die for, it's to die for you. People to come back and know who they really are. You know why? Because Christ is getting ready to come back and gather the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. It's very important for us to know who we are. We're not the Gentiles, we're not the Negro, African American, and we're sure not no Africans. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
The children of God. We are not black men, we are Israelites. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have repented. We have repented. How are you? How are you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.